What's up guys, I'm Sean, working on brakes again on my E46 M3 track car. So if you watched my latest video, I added anti-knockback springs into the caliper and I made my rotors full floating. I'm just waiting on my brake pads before I can finish the front end. And now I'm going to tackle the rear brakes. So for the past 4 years, I've been running this OEM rotor that's cross-drilled and vented. And I'm running upgraded PFC pads as well as stainless steel lines. My brakes have been okay, but it does suffer from pad knockback and it doesn't brake as well as some other cars that I've driven. I always wanted to buy a rear big brake kit, but I spent my money elsewhere, such as a upgraded 3-clutch LSD, aero, suspension, etc. Now it's finally time to upgrade the rear brakes. But instead of spending about $2,500 to $3,000 on a new big brake kit, I'm going with something different. This is what I'm going with. Porsche 996 calipers made by Brembo. So there are 4 pistons for each caliper. Big shout out to Build Journal. His website provided all the information for this DIY. He has the part numbers and different brackets to use. I wouldn't be able to do this without his website. So these calipers cost me about $450 shipped from eBay. And the brackets were about $200. The lines were about $65. And the bracket and line is from Rally Road. And I get to reuse my OEM rear rotor, which makes it even cheaper. And I'm just waiting on the pads. So overall, this kit cost me about $830 shipped, which is a lot cheaper than the $2,500 or $3,000 for a true big brake kit. So this kit is pretty much plug and play with very minor modifications, and I'll walk you through some of it. First thing I'm going to do is inspect the parts. I already noticed that it's missing one brake bleeder screw, so I gotta buy one of those. But overall, it looks pretty good. Supposedly this came off a car with 45,000 miles. There's a lot of different options on eBay, so you got to check out what matches your budget and quality. To remove the pads on the 996 calipers is actually really easy. There's a little clip right here that you basically pull out, and you get a little hammer and a screwdriver and just lightly tap this little pin that comes out. You pull this pin out and you move this little bracket, and then you have the pads basically. And I just cut off the sensor wire because I'm retrofitting this, so I don't need the sensor wires on my car. And here's the brake pads. And it's actually kind of interesting because on this it has this little, I guess they call it a dampeners or something. I don't think you really need to use it. And these are the stock tech store pad that has pretty good life left. The inner dust boots look pretty good. Hard for you guys to see this, but the part number ending in 422 on the Porsche is the right side, right rear caliper, and that stays like this on the Porsche, but on the M3 it's going to be like this. But the right caliper for the Porsche stays on the right side on the M3. The left side caliper ending in 421 will stay on the left side. So this is the right caliper that we're going to put on the M3, small piston on the bottom. So we're going to have to move the bleeder valve to the top. This is the left side caliper that we're going to mount on the M3. We're going to put the small piston on the bottom as well. So we're going to move the bleeder valves to the top, and then we're going to grab this transfer line, put it to the bottom of here, grab this transfer line and put it to the bottom of here. Use 11mm broke it loose. Through on this side. So these are going to go to the top of the right caliper. The bleeder valve for the left. It's going to go to the top. And again, I'm missing one. The transfer line is actually a 10mm. This is the right side fluid transfer line. I just cleaned it up a little bit, and basically it's going to go on the left caliper like this. Should be perfect right there. The left side fluid transfer line, I cleaned it up a little bit, and it's basically going to go like this. The fluid transfer lines have been transferred from one caliper to the other. You see it fits perfectly in this groove, and they're just snugged up already. This side fits perfectly in this groove. So now all I have to do is install the bleeder screw, which is pretty easy. The bleed screws are in, so technically this side is ready to install, but I'm not going to do that yet. You see here the clear coat is chipping, and it says Porsche here. So I'm going to sand this off and probably put a little fresh coat of paint on top. Again, you can check out Bill Journal's website. He actually has a DIY on how to paint these calipers as well. I have no affiliation with Bill Journal. I just think his website is pretty cool, so check that out. So for now, the calipers have been repainted. I didn't do a perfect job, but it looks a lot better than before. And the calipers are already red, so as long as I cover the exterior where people are going to see, that's what's important. And I painted it with the caliper paint, real red. And I let it sit for a couple days before I actually touch it. And these mounting hardware for the brake pads are actually really old. I tried cleaning it, but it was unsuccessful. Luckily, the new pads I ordered from Zeckhausen Racing comes with the kit. But if yours doesn't come with the pin and the clips to hold the brake pad, you can order these. They're like 12 bucks from Zeckhausen Racing. And I ordered the new bleed screw, and they're like $6.50 from Zeckhausen Racing. These are the StopTech pads that I'm going to try out. And if I don't like them, I can always upgrade them later. But these StopTech Sport pads come with the StopTech Big Brake Kit, so they're good for, I guess, medium to light tracking. And these are in the rear, so it should be okay. The OEM rear brakes are a sliding caliper with a single piston. When you step on the brakes, the piston pushes out and everything kind of clamps together. Whereas the new brakes are 4 pistons. So it's going to be a lot better because now you're going to have clamping forces on each side. So now I'm going to remove the rear brakes. You just have to pop off this spring clip, one forcing like this and the other one prying it up so it'll pop out. Oh, there it goes. And I already loosened the 2 16mm bolts holding the caliper bracket in place. And I'm going to loosen the 11mm nut to the heart line of the brake hose. If you've seen in my anti-knockback spring video, I put a bar holding down the brake pedal, and I kept the brake fluid reservoir closed, so therefore you won't lose as much brake fluid when you undo the line. You see the OEM pad, it's a lot smaller than the 4-piston pad. So the 4-piston pad is a little bit bigger, so more, I guess, surface area for a clamping force, and a bigger pad is better heat management versus a smaller pad. To run these larger calipers, you are going to have to cut your dust shield a little bit, maybe a couple inches on both sides. Bill Journal has how much you have to cut off. I don't have any dust shields because I already cut mine off. So now I'm going to install the Rally Road bracket using the OEM caliper bolt hardware. Rally Road set to torque their bracket to 45 foot-pounds. The hardware that came with the kit with a little split washer. This is an M12 socket head cap screw. I'm using a bit like this. I'm not going to torque it yet, but I'm going to run it down pretty snug, and I'm going to check clearance. So everything looks pretty good. Some people have mentioned those little pins right there that the brake pad sits on could be really close to the rotor, but mine has plenty of clearance on both sides, so you might want to check that on yours. And also the bracket bolts from Rally Road clears, doesn't touch anything. The bolts on top doesn't touch anything. So everything looks good. Now I'm going to torque down the caliper bolts to 45 foot-pounds. Now I'm going to install the lines. I could have did this earlier, but I wanted to check clearance before I installed this. Remember to reinstall this sliding clip that goes to the middle of the line. The hard line snug. It's probably only about 6 or 8 foot-pounds, but still by hand snug. The line is routed and installed to the back of the caliper, and I snugged it up as well. So now we just have to install the brake pads. I just loosened the bleeder valve just to relieve some pressure, even though there's no brake fluid in here. And to push the piston back, you can use like the rubber ends of like a wrench. Push it in here. Slowly push the piston back. You don't want to damage the boot or the piston. Now the pad should slide right in. Slide the other pad in. And this is the little spring clip that comes with the brake pad. And this pin goes through on the back side. So I'm going to force this down. The brake pads are in. You just push the metal spring clip down and push the pin through the caliper, through the pads, and there's a little copper pin that clips there. So this side is pretty much done. I'm just going to tighten this back up because I loosened it earlier. And look at the brake pad, it's like perfect for the rotor. I checked the outside and the inside and there's plenty of clearance. Now let's go to the other side. The right side is in. I double checked the clearance and everything fits perfect as well. No issues at all. Alright guys, everything done. Both sides are installed. Now I just have to bleed the system and go for a test drive. So I'm really happy how it turned out. Everything bolted up nicely. There's plenty of clearance all around. And again, big shout out to Build Journal for making this DIY really easy. And now my rear kit kind of matches my front kit. So I have a front StopTech 6-piston big brake kit. And now I have a rear 4-piston Brembo big brake kit. So the 4-piston has got to be better than this single piston from the OEM caliper. And Build Journal actually has a technical article comparing the different brake bias for different setups. And I checked my setup, StopTech 6-piston with the Brembo 996 4-piston in the rear. And the brake bias is pretty much like OEM. So performance-wise, it's not going to hurt the performance. If anything, it's going to be better because there's 4 pistons now, 2 on each side, as well as more pad options, and it looks better. But I won't know for sure how it feels until I try it out on the track in a few weeks. Until then, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.